Hello, it's me again, the worst unboxer in the world. Once again, giving you an unboxing. So here's the box, what it looks like. It is from Studio 2 Publishing, DBA Onyx Path Publishing. So I guess Onyx Path and Savage Worlds means Studio 2. 10 and a quarter inches across, so that equates to 26 centimeters. Also 13 inches or 33 centimeters long and 12 centimeters or 4 3/4 inches deep. So this is the dimension of the sock. If you want to let's open this guy up. I no, I oh there it is. I'll just use this handy dandy box good. All right, so let's open this box. They use like not the that beige tape. They use the beige tape, but not the clear tape, which is interesting. Plus, it's not as heavy a box as I would have thought for the size and the dimensions, which is curious. I probably know why there's another fulfillment of a Kickstarter, and it's got a lot of bubble wrap that I can use. And here we go. This is the only thing that's in there. Anima. So what is anima? What is reality? Anima is part of the Trinity Continuum, right? So the Trinity Continuum is sort of their verse where they're superheroes back and forth. It's pretty interesting. I thought Anima was pretty interesting. So what is Anima? 2084, after the Aberrant War, of the 2060s, there was the crash, plunging parts of the world into a dystopian cyberpunk future. I love it already. That's probably why I backed the Kickstarter. I'm a collector of post-apocalyptic and cyberpunk type stuff, and I would love to play some cyberpunk, even if it's Shadowrun. Um, yeah. Uh, my buddy Joe Richter ran like, is it him? No, actually, Jason Connerly ran a couple of sessions of cyberpunk, and we never got to finish the adventure, the scheduling, but yeah, it was cool. And that was the old Cyberpunk 2020, which is a really good system. I really enjoyed it back in the day, and I kind of sort of recollected it through like PDF bundles of holding, but I held on to my Deep Space supplement that I've had like forever, just because I liked that the cyberpunk world kind of delved into the space lanes, and that's why I really fell in love with a game called Transhuman Space. But that is a topic for another day. Anyway, so the crash, cities were built up after the horrors of the crash, but people still flocked to fantasy entertainment to forget the troubles of the world outside using a brain implant known as glass. The number one fantasy MMORPG, Terra Surge, uses glass to make the most immersive and exciting gaming experience available on the market. But top players end up missing or dead under mysterious circumstances, players like you. So Trinity Continuum Anima characters try to get by while staving off attacks from enemies both physical and virtual. Anima gives players a chance to enter both the dangerous world of corporate espionage. I like that. I've always wanted to do like a corporate conspiracy game as well, while also delving deep into the virtual world's mysteries. Between the two exists a myriad of deadly secrets meant to be left buried. So that sounds pretty cool. That looks really cool, actually. It's a pretty it kind of fits on the shelf with the rest of the Trinity books. This is one game that is probably on my bucket list to run, whether it's Aberrant or looking at my shelf here. Continuum Aberrant. They have a core book. I have a couple other books, adventures, so what 1920s type, and then I have another book too, as well. And there was one that like takes place like in kind of Greece as well. I can't remember the name of it. Wish I had like a full list. Anyway, let's take a pause here and take a look at the book. Here is Anima. What is reality? It's again this I don't know if there. I can't. Don't know publication sizes, but it is 7.25 by 10.25. So it's not your sort of 8.5 by 11 sort of standard size. I don't know if that's A5. I don't know. Someone could probably tell me. Um, so that's inches, and then I think the 10 is like 36, and the seven, well, the seven is like 18 and a half or so, 7.25. All right, so we could open it up. I've always liked the art, it's, to me, that they do in the kind of that sort of Trinity Continuum style. So here is a table of contents that we got, the intro. That usually they start with a hope, sacrifice, unity, some sort of fiction, as you can see. Uh, I don't know that your mileage may vary on those. I'm sort of not a big fan all the time, because it can be pretty dense, and then I I'm prone to distractions. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll read this another time. Right. So that gives me the after the crisis. So it starts out with this book here starts out with a background as opposed to making characters and the like. But yeah, because you don't get to character creation until chapter three. So one is after the crash, so the history of the setting. Then two, man, that's very typical of this Trinity Continuum series. Um, they want to give you the background and get you into the world. I guess it's typical of Onyx Path, World of Darkness, and all that the like. Get you into the verse first, and then you learn how to play the game. I'm more of like a play the game. Learn to play the game first. Let's start with character creation and then get there. I don't know. Maybe a nice intro, but let's start with making the characters and how the game works, or even how the game works, and then making the characters. I mean, because that could help like a player goes, oh, how does this game work? How can I make a good character then? Let me learn how the game works. But I guess their philosophy here is like, here's how the verse, here's the existence of the verse. Therefore, come up with your character concept, which you want to play as, and then you get to the character, right? So after the crash in Cascade, that city they talked about, then chapter three, like I said, character creation, then I guess all the different factions that take place here. And wow, there is even more, right? So here we are, uh, glass and chrome. So how that works, then Cinecita. So it gives you all the different like virtual realities here. So you make an anima creation, you can make your, so I guess it gives you then step back. So that was like making character in the real world, and this is now background and to learn how to make a character then in the virtual world, and then putting them together. It looks like logging on the procedurals and how you do that, and then right, they even see damage and healing and all that. So this is like the procedurals down here, and then the story guide. So how you can make. So it seems like hopeful cyberpunk. It's interesting. So the different types of stories and genres you can, or stories you can come up with in the cyberpunk genre, and then I like that. Game over. What happens if you die? And what happens when your anima dies too, right? So then opponents and allies in the different locations, and then setting secrets for the GM. So yeah, it's a pretty thick book, right? Here you go. Let me see if there's anything fun inside the book to head to. Here's like character, and I was right, right? So they want you to come up with a concept first, it seems, before you get to the mechanics. So here's the character creation in the real world. So concept, then your aspiration, like what you want to do in the verse, and you can see it's two column, pretty dense. Um, not not a lot of space between. It's a pretty dense book, and they generally are all that kind. Maybe that's also why I haven't gotten to the table yet, because it's a lot of reading, it seems. You want to know how it works and all that. So apply your template and then your finishing touches. So and it looks like you probably will. Yes, you have to go use the Trinity Continuum core rulebook. It says to make your character, which is cool. And then you allegiance edges, and then I guess they add different edges and cyberware edges as well. So it is a sort of that world of darkness system, roll up pool of D10s, and then you have like various edges and things that are kind of like feats, but more like talents actually. Right. So I like this. I know Kung Fu reference there to the Matrix uh, up there. Um, so It's interesting. And then yeah. So these are like again, this is all the real world stuff. And then it tells you like all these are all the different factions. You can see how dense and chock full of information. I'm sure it's full of. So then here is the state of the art and all the virtual information on the virtual. And you see it's a lot of info. There's so much information. Again, that's why I guess is how it came about. It's really interesting. I've noticed they like these like they stop and they have these blank pages at the end of chapters like that, which is it's not. I feel like can't you just order another piece of art here? It's a small observation. And here's like the different places in the virtual verse, right? Like I said, um, again, right, blank space at the end of the chapter. Then they have the different classes and the muses that you can have um, in there. Like I guess these are all the different types of features and created things you can have, and then all the different factions that exist in the virtual place. So, and then I guess what is this? Finally, the art. It's almost like two books. It's a good map, a nice map of like what the virtual world might look like and stuff, which is kind of cool. Um, other realms too. You can go to other realms. That'd be kind of fun. And then anima, and here's your anima creation, right? So I guess they tell you about it, give you all the factions, and then tell you about the world. And now you can here, step one, choose a culture, choose a guild and a path, and then etc. Right. So again, you got to let's see skills. You probably do have to go refer to the rule book as well. Yeah. You see how they building the anima. Or could just be like a sub template. I do want maybe I should check out the character sheet. Well, here's how they have this is like your short form, your sample culture and class and what it all does down here. Right. And then it gives you the different approaches, which should probably the number of after that's probably the number of dice you roll in your pool at some point. So it seems like an interesting concept. And again, like leveling here, how you level that's cool. How you level your anima. That's very interesting. Um, so much like if you're playing a virtual reality MMO and existing in the world, I guess like what was that movie? Ready Player One. I guess it's kind of like Ready Player One in concept, which had was kind of like a dystopian society. These are all the different powers that your anima will have. It does again, seems like an interesting concept, but maybe definitely a lot of prep, at least for me, to get it to the table. But I do enjoy the concept. Um, so yeah, maybe one of these days. I know I feel like on the channel we get distracted with the latest greatest. We want to try this, we want to get that. But anyway, cool stuff. This has been, like I said, Trinity Continuum Anima. What is reality? Kind of dystopian-ish conspiracy cyberpunk world, but hopeful dystopian conspiracy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check it out. I mean, I definitely, like I said, one on my bucket list is to get some sort of Trinity Continuum type game to the table. So maybe this one, maybe another one, maybe the Greek one in lieu of the kind of Greek topic that I had the panel for recently. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Good night and good morning.